So much for having me today. And thanks for Emmy and Van for inviting. Okay. All right, and I want to apologize in the beginning because I do not know, maybe I need the IT help, but there is, I have text messages coming through my screen, so if there is a text, just please ignore it. Okay, I can't figure out how to turn it off. All right, so.
Just close the app.
I tried. I have Do Not Disturb on my phone, so hopefully that will work. But we can discuss later for sure. I don't want to, Okay, but just ignore, especially if it's crazy. Okay. I know. I'm like, oh no, this could be really bad. Nice introduction. Okay, so all my friends and family call me Sheryl B. So hello, and again, thank you so much for having me. So I thought I would start by telling you a little bit about me, about my story, and about how I came to start a nonprofit foundation with absolutely zero experience in this domain. But again, I was a former tech exec for a long time, climbed that ladder, really burnt out in the end there, and I just decided, it wasn't something that I wanted to continue doing. So I've had a lot of different things kind of through my life. I've owned my own firm. I've done all kinds of cool things. I've professionally, I worked in both large enterprises and startups. So I ended my career in startups, but I kind of started in larger enterprise. And I just decided that, it was time to do something new. And so I have been a professional singer, also kind of undercurrent, doing all of this. But I also have a 25-year-old daughter. And so, I couldn't really have a nightlife and also be a single mom. So I had to kind of always put the music on the shelf. I pursued it for a minute and then I would kind of back out of it. But in 2024, a friend of mine asked me, hey, Cheryl, will you do my wedding? And I was like, okay, sure. So we did his wedding, and then I started kind of gigging around all summer, and it was super fun, and I had a great time doing it. And then another friend of mine who I've known a really long time, he said, hey, Cheryl, my mom, she has dementia, and she's in a care facility, and I was wondering if we could, do a little thing for her, maybe I'll be on the ukulele, you can do a vocal thing. And I go, of course. That was my initial reaction was yes, of course. But I just didn't realize how impactful this little, one little yes or one little thing would actually be in my life. And so what we did is I said to him, hey, why don't we customize the program for your mom? Why don't you tell me what are all her favorite songs, and we'll arrange them, we'll do them, and then we'll kind of present, this for her. And, I think everyone else will benefit because of the eras and the type of, the demographic of people would be there. But it was really tailored to his mom. And so his whole family came, and his mom has been married for 50 years to her husband. She does not remember who he is. She doesn't remember, who her family members are at this point in the dementia journey that she was in. And what occurred in that experience was that she was able to sing every single song with us. She got up, and her family got a moment back with them. And it was this profound experience that even when I talk about it, I'm like, okay, Cheryl, don't cry. Because it was so, it just warmed my heart, but I saw really what kind of impact music could really have. I knew it. I knew what the studies showed. I know what the research was, but I had never really seen it in action. And that experience, the next day, the administration actually called me to tell me what the other impact was in the room. And there was a gentleman who was not mobile. He was able to tap his foot to the music, and really keep on the beat, and there was movement there. Another gentleman kind of got up and said, that's my favorite song, and it was just this incredible connection through music. And that day, it was in July of 2024. The next day, I decided, oh my gosh, I have to do this for the rest of my life. And so that was the start of Musical Memories Foundation. And from that moment, I was like, okay, I took all of my business experience, and my first thought was, write a pitch deck, Cheryl, like go and like put this whole business plan together. And so I did that over the next couple of months before I told my parents, hey guys, I'm gonna completely do something totally different, So I really thought through this whole thing, in a 5-year way, and I thought, okay, what do I really wanna do? How do I really wanna achieve what I want to? And I kind of put my little business focus on this nonprofit. And so when I told my parents, what I was gonna do, both of them were like, oh my gosh, they're separate, so 2 separate families. But I was like, Dad, Bonnie, Mom, Dave, hey, this is what I want to do. And they said, my dad, like hands down, now I've had a lot of ideas, but hands down, he said, oh my gosh, you have to do this, like absolutely 100%. And my mom said the same thing. And like I said, in my life, I've had lots of business ideas and pursued some, and others I have not. But never have I had that much support for one of my ideas. So I knew right then, like just with the support of my family, the support of my friends who were like, everyone, not one person said this is a crazy idea, Cheryl, don't leave your day job, And so I did, and I started the organization. And so in 2025, early 2025, I filed all the paperwork for a real nonprofit, and then we launched in April of 2025 last year. So this is our 1 year in business this month, and it is super exciting because of the impact that we've been able to have in this 1 year. So these are the exact numbers of our first year. We actually have done more in April, but I haven't added them in yet. So we have served over 2,212 seniors so far with the work that we're doing, with over 73 programs delivered. So exciting to see that kind of impact and what we've been able to do. In our first year, we've been able to get a grant from the city of Palo Alto to help us advance in their city. We've been able to partner with other local organizations like the Union City Lions Club has given us opportunity through a donation, like a pretty large donation, so we could serve the seniors of Union City. But who we actually serve, and kind of a little bit more about what we do, well, I'll back up for the actual mission of the organization and the vision, but it's lighting up memories and lifting up seniors' lives with music. I'll go into a little bit more detail about what that really means. And then the vision, or the overall vision of the org, is to enhance quality of life through music. Okay, this is a long slide. You guys can read this later, but essentially what do? We address the epidemic of loneliness and isolation in the senior community. And we do that by producing these highly customized, high quality, music-based programs. And so what that really means is that we partner with every place that we go, and every community. We learn about the people that we're serving. So we don't just go deliver a program that's generic. We go and we learn about their lives, and then we customize the music programming to meet their actual needs, all based on level of acuity. So we serve seniors who are super active in the community. We serve seniors who are in assisted living situations, and also in memory care. All levels of acuity is the word that we use to describe like different levels of ability at different stages in life, and that is what we do. So we serve seniors, but we also serve another community, who is the professional music or musician and facilitator community. So with regard to professional musicians, when I first started this, I thought, oh, this will be a great avenue for a performance. And I really wanted high quality. And this is where, some friends were like, Cheryl, I don't know, nobody cares about musicians, or nobody really cares about, that community. I'm like, yes, we're a very underserved community ourselves, often undervalued for the work that we actually do, and underpaid. So I thought, well, what if we could like raise that bar with Musical Memories Foundation and provide real, awesome, fair market wage to working musicians who are doing this for a living. Some of my friends do it, still, in their maybe 40s or living with other people because they pursue music, so they're not able to make as much money as us in tech do. And so I thought, what if we could, really up the bar? So we've been able to do that as well. So all of the musicians that are working with Musical Memories Foundation are top call pros. So everybody is really, and what that really means is, when a band comes to town, they don't often travel with all of their people. So the bass player will be picked up by the top call players in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that is who powers Musical Memories Foundation in terms of the quality of musicianship. So that's pretty cool, and it also allows them, the way that all of these events are structured and the way that we serve the community is typically during the day, so that musicians can have a platform in the evening to be able to still do their gigs and make money in their regular career. But we give them opportunities that are fairly paid during the day to serve seniors. We also give seniors, this is what my word for that community is, experienced in life adults. There's a real movement to talk about calling people older adults. I am anti that word, so it's experienced in life adults for us. And I think that giving opportunity to people who are more experienced in life and have a lot to share, and who also now have time to be able to focus on their music because they had careers, who are retired. So there is a lot of people who are volunteering their time in our organization that are coming from that community. And those, we can also do paid opportunities for those that are professional musicians in that arena as well. So we're also powered by volunteers. I'll say our most famous volunteer, his name is Dean Nissen. He's a local guy who is 73 years old and is a dancing machine. So what we discovered along the way was that it wasn't just going to be performance-based. It's really customized to what people want. And I learned very early on that in Union City, it is a very big active dance community, and they want to party and they want dancing. So Dean kind of, introduced me to how would we do that and what would that really look like. And in what we've been able to produce with him being I call him our chief dance officer. He recently got a promotion. He was our dance ambassador, and now he's our chief dance officer. But he puts together all of these really cool programs for people. So in December of last year, we did an event called the Jingle Mingle with the Ruggieri Center in Union City. And that was a smashing success, totally sold out event. About 150 people came, and we provided live music to dances. So we partnered with the community, we partnered with each dance instructor, and we coordinated this really interesting and cool event where they could showcase all of their dance classes with Musical Memories musicians behind them. So it was pretty fun, very cool event. Speaking of video things, that's my weakness. Doing things on video, social media stuff, not the best, but we're working on it. So I'll just pause because I do talk really fast and just see if there's any questions so far, or I can kind of hold questions to the end. I'll keep going. So I talked a little bit about our programming and what we were doing at the Jingle Mingle. We've also done the senior prom, which is like super fun as well. I have some pictures of that, I think, in the end of this. And I'm so excited to say that in 2 weeks or so, next Saturday, not this coming, but the following, we're doing a Sing and Swing in Spring in Palo Alto. We have an 18-piece big band behind us for that. We've got multiple singers, and we've got a costume contest and a sing-along. So that's how we were able to include everyone. We really focus on inclusive programming, but also trying to make sure that, when I say inclusive, I mean like interactive as well, like also based on level of acuity. So depending, like even if you are in a wheelchair or you are a walker, or maybe you can't move as much, there are still ways that we connect with you. So that really, we can talk a little bit about the work we do in memory care as well. So that's a very different style. Obviously, it kind of started with that, but what we discovered also along the way is that there's a gap in what administration thinks that people want and what people really want. And it's been so fun to actually learn about people and kind of fill that gap a little. So we have this dance party that we bring to memory care. So with Dean, he comes out, we have a band behind it, and there's really like all of this awesome interaction. Initially, we were told, in working in memory care, keep it at 86 beats per minute, which if you don't know, that's real slow. It's my style, but not, necessarily like, everyone's style. But I thought, okay, we'll do like jazz standards or something, old school, we'll keep it slow and low. And we discovered by accident that is not what anybody wants. Everyone, even if you may not be able to move as much as you used to, or you can't remember, there is a real, there's so much life to come out still, no matter how far down the road it is. And I'm sure some of you have experiences with dementia or Alzheimer's or other ailments where, that are impacted or people are impacted by it. And it's a very sad situation, but music is the one thing that is scientifically proven, and you can see it, and what the result is when people are exposed to music that they love and the human connection with it. So that is that. Now, Swing and Sing in Spring is a free event. So it is hosted in Palo Alto in the Coverly Theater. There's tons of opportunities. All you have to do, it's for the 55 plus community. So if you want to go, you can RSVP to it. It's in a couple weeks. But anyway, I just want to say it's a free event, also from the grant funding that we received as well, to be able to produce community concerts or senior socials. We also have positive outcome instrument-based workshops. So we've developed this other way to communicate, and I think a great example of that is we do a lot of work in the Asian community where there is a predominantly Chinese-speaking community, especially in Palo Alto, here in Fremont as well, and language is a barrier. And so what we just recently did was we had an interpreter, and we thought, what a great way to have everyone connect through the beat of the drum. And so we have a structured workshop that is really based on drum communication and positive outcome. We don't want anyone to attend anything that's gonna like frustrate them when it comes to musical instruments. So we thought this would be a real fun way to kick it off. We started it out last year, and it's really evolved over time. And now the Magic of Drums workshop, we just did it without any, we had English, right, interpretation, but there really wasn't a lot of communication, but they had such a good time. It was a completely sold out workshop, and everyone left, well, according to the surveys, everyone loved it. So it was a really great positive outcome for them, even with language barrier. Music, again, can kind of transcend all of that. These are things you all probably know, but I just in experiencing them, it's been so cool to see really what that impact looks like. Okay, so our goals, what are our goals? Of course, increase awareness, because the funniest thing is I literally live in Fremont, but no one in Fremont knows I exist. I somehow have kind of gone around the Union City, Palo Alto. I've kind of gone around, and I want to be able to say, hey, I do business with people in Fremont, but I'm not necessarily connected to the Chamber of Commerce yet, or other things, and I literally live here. So I would really like to do that. We do business here as well, but again, so I'd like to just increase the awareness of what we're doing at Musical Memories Foundation. We're a tiny little org, but making a really big difference. Expand our presence and partnerships in our hometown. I think I just addressed that. And then make a larger impact in our local community. So as you know, if you met me when I first came in, I'm here. I'm a Rotarian too. And I wanted to talk about my journey into that as well for just a moment, because in being in a corporate environment for so long and being focused on raising my daughter and all these other things, my life focus, it was never really community focused. I mean, I did a couple things here, attended fundraisers and things like that. But I was at a fundraiser, and Rotarians approached me, and they were like, hey, do you know about Rotary? I'm like, I know that there's a thing called Rotary, but I had no idea what it really was about at all. And I think that that's true for maybe other people. I don't know for sure, but I think that is true. It's like we've heard it, we know it's an international organization, but we don't really know what it is. And so these two wonderful people were telling me about Rotary, and I was like, That sounds like so much fun and such a great way to connect more in the community. And so I just put a little thing together about what is Rotary. These are all branded colors, okay? So just saying, I got all of this branding from the official website. But I'm a member of Mission San Jose Rotary. They convinced me very easily to join the organization. And as this gentleman, I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. Sam, as he reminded me, a global network of over 1.2 million neighbors, friends, and leaders are the Rotarians. We volunteer our skills and resources to solve pressing local, community, and international problems. So you can see why I was drawn to this organization. And non-political, non-religious, and the focus is on community service, promoting integrity, and advancing world peace, which I feel we all need at this time. Learn more about us here, Mission San Jose Rotary. Of course, there's a little link there. But you've got Niles Rotary in the house. You got all these other Rotarians. So it's so cool to be in a room where I walk in and we're talking about cool stuff in the community and business in the community, but then also all of this awesome action in the community as well. So that is my presentation for today. Thank you so much for having me. This is just some stuff. This is the senior prom. Experienced in life, adults. But I just don't want to say the word old. I just feel like it's not appropriate. Yes, please ask me questions. Yes.